Alright, we got a big stack of comics today that I've been reading for the last week. So we are going to go through them and get the center right there. But fun little pile. Little big pile. I think there's one or two that are a few comics in a run. This is a free comic book day book. The all new Guardians of the Galaxy. We got our whole crew. Our normal Guardians are part of this. Mantis, they're meeting for the first time in this issue. They are kind of, well, some of our characters, I guess you could say, are contained in this issue. And Rocket and Groot, we're got the itty bitty Groot. We're starting out with this one. I wasn't big on the artwork of this. It wasn't terrible. It just gives a little goofiness to the characters, in my opinion. Here's a good example. Just kind of gives it more kiddie feel to the imagery that they're using for this. It's a nice introduction to them. I got this character that's the evil entity that's after them, and these are the guards, and our they get this ship for the first time when they escape this facility, I guess you'd call it. And I couldn't really get into it. I didn't really have a good feel for what's going on with the characters and stuff. It's basically, to me, starting anew, giving them and rebuilding the same story. And they barely give you a story in here, and then they go to the Defenders uh, Investigation Service. Alias Investigation Services. They start out at with the Defenders storyline, but we get our characters: Luke Cage, Daredevil, and Iron Fist, and they gotta stop this Mr. Sky character. It's okay, but again, these are, just feel like, to me, when they keep doing this, it's like a spoiled brat that read a story and wanted to change a few things. And like, I want to do it now. I get to make the pretty pictures. And it's like, why? Why can't you just have your own story instead of going back to everybody getting together again, meeting each other, doing whatever, and then escaping from whatever event that happens, and then going, getting the ship, and you're seeing the music and hearing the music and all that, and it's the same thing we know. I mean, are we going to really spend another 20, 30 years reintroducing us to every freaking character out there? And nobody's going to sit there and make a movie or something or a series that goes beyond? And let's find out what else happens in their life. Oh no, their great great grandpa got killed and they got bitten by a radioactive seahorse and now they can fly through the clouds or whatever. I don't give a shit. And if you don't know who the character is and you're going to watch it, that's your fault. Go back and read stuff from the past. But we shouldn't have to be reintroduced to everything again and again and again. Guardians of Knowhere. This must have been a 4-issue run because they had 4 issues here. And it's basically based on Doctor Doom. I'm going to give you this little multiverse crisis event from the Secret Wars that happened. The multiverse was destroyed. Thank God. No, it wasn't because they're still doing multiversal stories, so they couldn't have destroyed it. It is written by Brian Michael Bendis, artist Mike Deodato, and color artist Frank Martin, by the way. But the heroes of Earth 616 and Earth 1610 were powerless to save it. Now all that remains is Battle World, a massive patchwork planet composed of the fragments of worlds that no longer exist, maintained by the iron will of its god and master, Victor Von Doom. Each region is a domain unto itself, and our characters are living in the celestial head that Doom destroyed, and I thought it mentioned something else in there. But again, there is some awesome visuals of this head and central nervous system building that they're living on at the moment. But apparently they're calling the head Knowhere and treating it like a planet. And then we have Drax the Destroyer just sitting around getting drunk. And a character that I don't know, I'm really confused by her being here. But we have Angela, who is part of the Spawn universe. So it's kind of confusing to me why she's here and why she's wielding a Thor hammer. But she's after Drax. She wants to talk to Gamora. Everybody's basically getting hooked up back together. Gamora tried to leave the Celestial and got in trouble for it, and that's why Angeline is hunting her down. Visuals, and there's great visuals throughout this and stuff, but they get into it. I screwed up on the last one mentioning Mantis. It's this story where Mantis gets reintroduced for the first time. And then we got this Yotat character that calls himself the Destroyer. And he wants to wipe out Drax, so his name will be the Destroyer of the Destroyer, or something like that. And he keeps hunting them down to battle them. And I wish I could get a good picture, but we get uh, the Nova Corps. A group of them come down to battle with this character also. And between Nova Corps this character, the Destroyer, and his minions they might not have came in until the third issue, but I thought they're in the second issue. But yeah, okay, here it is. The battle. There's just all kinds of battles going on between all our characters, and then we got these 6 Nova Corp characters that happen to be Miss Marvel, Nova, uh, Venom, Iron Man, the female Wah, and I can't think of what Mr. Goofy Cape his name. But they come in and get wiped out by the Destroyer right out the bat, and I mean they come back and stuff like that. But it looks when they battle with the Destroyer that they're getting wiped out. And then between all 4 groups, there's a lot of mixed battles going on, jumping back and forth between everybody. But eventually, we get Angela comes with the Thor hammer and tries to take Yotat out with that, and it basically doesn't do anything. And it's funny because Yotat is basically made from jealousy of a second in command character that ends up having the character before he turns into Yotat, the Destroyer, uh, basically tried to kill him off and take over. And because of that, we have this very strong, hard to destroy type character that they're dealing with. But I like the story. It leads into yeah, I know you said it. To be concluded in Secret Wars and Guardians of the Galaxy 1. So that's why it's a 4-issue run. Have all 4 issues. I enjoyed it. I do like the Secret Wars stories that I have read. So I'm thinking about maybe jumping on and going beyond this. I'm also in a quandary. Should I do that, or should I just put these for sale today in the the sale that I'll be doing this afternoon? We'll have to see. We got It's Jeff Week. Thought this was the club pick that we were supposed to do this week. Obviously not, because the one Anthony put up had a different name. Something about the gems. Infinity. Jeff and the Infinity Pause or something like that. So I don't know if I have that coming or what, but this is It's Jeff Week. I thought it was just It's Jeff Week, a new story. But no, this is the It's Jeff cartoon comic combined with the Jeff Week comics. It all runs in one nice little story where Jeff decides to sneak upon a vacation trip, and because of that, he has to go through a bunch of stuff. There's a parade that goes through town while he's in the hotel. He's yelling at the floats, and then he decides to jump out a window and attack a float. And then there's it was on that page anyways. There's a Jeff floating down the street after he destroys uh, The one I hate, the big round head character. But then we got Jeff helping out a bunch of baby chicks that decided that, hey, you want to be our mom for a day? And started following him. He's protecting him. And a fox runs up, wants to get a snack, and Jeff attacks the fox. just These are just all so fun. Iron Man traps Jeff in a little containment area because he has to go off and deal with something. But Jeff's seen him how he turned the containment field on and found a way to turn it off. And he steals one of Tony Stark's uh, mech suit things. Ends up destroying Tony's place. And when Tony gets back, Jeff's just laying in his contained little thing. I didn't do nothing. I love the lemon head story where Jeff and a little girl are doing a little lemonade stand, and they aren't getting any customers. But Jeff noticed there's a bunch of people down on the boardwalk by the lake and stuff, so he makes up a little outfit and sign and goes down there and parades back and forth, and everybody, of course, follows the cute shark. This is why I thought we were doing this book, because this is the second storyline. That's why I feel like I read the Infinity Gem thing, but I don't have it on my list anywhere. But Jeff is in Doctor Strange's uh, building of uh, Sanctum Sanctorium or whatever. But he's got this table full of these little, looks like little jellies, different colored jellies, and each one causes Jeff to do different things. I love when he gets the Hulk arms and he gets octopus body and all this stuff. But yeah, when he was dealing with that in the other story, he also dealt with gems, but they are regular gems, and he ate those and helped out everybody. But yeah, does what he can to save Doctor Strange, and yeah, it's hilarious every time something happens with Jeff. Yeah, these are just all wonderfully animated shows that, or not shows, strips that they had digitally that they put together for us to read in real book form, which I'm very happy with. He goes playing with Spidey. He gets to have some fun with Devil Dinosaur. Devil Dinosaur is all sad when he goes away. And then Jeff does some stuff to bring him back and some other characters later on in the story once we meet uh, Cosmo. No, not Cosmo. Oh my god. Everybody's yelling at me right now. And I ain't gonna think of it. I'm just gonna skip past it. But yeah, I want to show that picture on the end of it. It's just so cute. But these are so much fun. And they're a great palate cleanser to read in between other comics, because you gotta have some type of simple comic to read once in a while to give it a break. Simple comic with very few words, but explain the stuff better than comics that have lots of words. All right, the Jack of Hearts 4-issue run. I finally got to read this. I've wanted to read it for a while now since I got obsessed with Jack of Hearts when he came to stay with She Hulk. But in here we find out a little bit. And they're trying to contain between uh, my brain is just in La La Land today. Shield's trying to contain Jack of Hearts. Another planet is trying to contain Jack of Hearts. They all know about his powers, and he's unable to control everything, but his powers are so dangerous that if he can't control it, I'm mixing stories up. I mixed the Guardians of Knowhere up with this, where the second in command screws over the first in command, and by doing so, ends up putting everybody at risk because we get to see Jack of Hearts ending up helping Shield with something that's going on, and they let him out of his containment unit, and his girlfriend is trying to work a deal to get him uh, use his powers to make the world a better place, use it to help worlds, because he's basically like a giant sun waiting to explode. And we find out that this character, this bearded sailor looking guy, he is heading a crew to capture Jack, to force Jack to sacrifice himself to restart their sun because their sun is dying. Their planet's already pretty well frozen. Everybody has to keep moving closer and closer together. But then we find out that Jack's girlfriend is from this planet, and Jack's family's from this planet. We find out back histories of his mom and dad. Learn about all that in here, which is nice to get the gist of the origin story with him. But they did it in a good way where it didn't waste like half a comic. Uh, with this character, even though the priestesses on the planet end up deciding, yeah, let's let Jack restart the sun, he's willing to do it, willing to sacrifice himself for billions. And this guy's like, no, we're going to capture Jack. We're going to contain Jack and use him to restart the sun. And then tell the people that he didn't want to do it, but we forced him to do it, and now they're heroes. Well, shit happens where his second in command, this guy here, ends up killing the priestesses. We find out that Jack's girlfriend's also like him with they all got these half faces. Some have hearts. I don't know if there's diamonds and spades and clubs or what with the different ones. But eventually, after everything happens with that and the priestesses, and then these two characters wanting to scam everybody so they can rule the planet once the sun's reignited, they work together to put Jack on a ship that he's contained in where he can't break free, but anytime there's outbursts from his hands of his power, they shoot through the spaceship, out the spaceship front, and right into the heart of the sun. Uh, and the ship's heading towards the heart of the sun. Then you find out, I'm not going to give away the rest of it, but you find out twist with the evil doers and the people of the planet, the priestesses, and everything. There's all kinds of things that happen. But I enjoyed it. uh, but I'll probably never read it again, so I'll probably let it go. I enjoyed the She-Hulk run way better, and I'm hoping for more newer Jack of Hearts stuff. I'm gonna try some other older stuff, but yeah, we'll see what happens. We have The Life and Death of the Brave Captain Suave from Scout Comics. This is Joseph Siraki, Kelly Williams, and Taylor Esposito. We get this character, this homeless guy, and he keeps fantasizing that he's this Captain Suave character. We get another homeless character. Well, not really a homeless character, but basically a drug dealer type character. He ends up being this little sidekick character. They end up going through, and there's a little kind of a parody on the Hall of Justice there, but you constantly see him on the street, seeing people, thinking there's something happening that's not happening. Like two guys and a girl that are all friends came out of a bar drunk, and he goes and attacks them, beats the crap out of the two guys, thinking they're attacking the girl, and they aren't, and she's so drunk she doesn't even know what happened. But you constantly got the street image, and then when something happens, it transfers over to the superhero images. Very well done. I enjoyed this story immensely. It reminded me a lot of Robin Williams and Jeff, uh, not Jeff Goldblum. Uh, oh, basically homeless people on the street imagining stuff that's going on and thinking that they're superheroes and stuff. It has nice twists throughout it and stuff. I enjoyed it. It kept me interested the whole time, so I would definitely check out more of that. Then we got Renegade Rabbit #3. I figured I'd check out to see if I do like this series or not. Sadly, it's issue 3, so they have stuff going on already, and I'm behind on all that. But it does show him traveling through space, dealing with other species of aliens and stuff, and decent black and white pages throughout. But yeah, he's got to deal with this fat Batman character. Oh, there's a better a color image of him. With him and Jack battling it away, and I don't know what happened to bring them to this before this issue, so I'd like to find out more. But we do get to see some history of I don't know if it's an ongoing story or what. But we get this Mighty Tiny with these mouse. I think they're mice pilots. Yeah. Uh, just basically mice pilots dealing with a war with a blimp that they got to take down, and yeah, that was a fun little story also. And there's the blimp going down in flames. Artwork on that story was better than Jack's artwork, more detailed, but still both very enjoyable. And I think I have some earlier, like issue 1 and 2 maybe, of Captain Jack coming soon enough. Yeah, we're hitting our 30-minute mark, but I can finish off these last two. From Harvey Comics, I checked out Stunt Dawgs. I kind of recognize this character over here, but I don't know if I ever seen them in animation or not on one of the shows back in the day. But this was a fun story and they also are dealing with a blimp in here. It's because of a racing event, not racing, kind of like a stunt show movie event thing happening. As you can see, our characters are stunt performers, and uh, things keep happening and stuff to them. But we also find out why, because there's the evil stunt performing team that keeps wanting to take out the Stunt Dawgs. And while they're doing it, some big event happens, and they try to replace the Stunt Dawgs and cause a bunch of issues with them. But because of what they did to the Stunt Dawgs and stuff, it ends up backfiring on them and turning on them. But this is really fun now. It's like I'm trying to collect all the Harvey comics I can. Well, I still got two more. I thought I only had one left. But yeah, that was a fun one because I just don't remember those characters. Uh, this is What the issue 1, which I think the last one I reviewed was like issue 3. But these are just wonderful if you've never seen them. They're parodies of all the characters you know from the Marvel universe. The first story starts out with a big Punisher story, and they just make the characters so goofy. You can imagine the different parodying they do and extra characters they bring into it. It's like Punisher gets a Jeep with big old cattle horns on top, big old guns on it. And it's just, yeah. We get the Power Brats and Clunk and Dag Nabbit instead of Cloak and Dagger, and the Power Pack, I believe, would be the name of the kids group. Uh, but yeah, they're dealing with a alien, basically an alien ship that comes down that has a face on it that explains itself and tells them what needs to be done and all that stuff, and they just parody the crap out of those two entities. You even have a Galactus in here that appears. But these are just so much fun. You get Teen Titans. It's called When Titans Punch. Teen Titans style story in here. I think there's one more. And you got the Fantastic Four, you got Wolverine, Avengers, you got Sandman, or not Sandman, Scarecrow. Scarecrow. Why do we have Scarecrow? Scarecrow should be in DC. I'm mixing that character up, I think, with something else. And since we were on the Secret War stuff, there's a parody on Secret War 2. Doctor Doom and Oa and them messing with each other. It's like they're like little kids having their little hissy fits. They aren't getting their way. But these are awesome. If you never checked out the comics, check those out. Then the last one, Grim Tales of Terror, #1 Wonderland comic. Wasn't really big on this. We start with a story of a young boy whose parents, his mom is drunk and passed out on the couch. Well, not drunk. She's got a crack pipe next to her, so she's cracked up and out on the couch when he comes home late. But Kelly Little is back, and the ongoing series that every Xenoscope fan has been waiting for is finally here. When Callie escaped from Wonderland, she wanted to believe she was finally free from the realm of madness. She wanted to believe she could live a normal life. But she was wrong. Now Callie and her daughter Violet are on the run. Meanwhile, a child returns from a carnival with a special hat that'll change everything. Yeah, he gets the Mad Hatter's hat, but it's after we got to see him going through finding his mom with the crack pipe, seeing his dad, apologizing for coming home after dark, and dickhead dad just has to beat the kid, beat him senseless, and the mom wakes up and is told to go back to bed or she's gonna be next, and then she just goes back to sleep on the couch. Doesn't give two shits about the kid. As long as he's getting hit, she's not getting hit. Basically how that type of world works. So stupid. Can't believe people allow it. It's like walk out and tell people and just get on with your life and put them where they belong. Which this kid does. He sets things straight, but that's also because of getting the hat, seeing a character in the mirror. But Callie and her daughter, they're traveling around moving. When they get to the place that they're going to, she doesn't destroy the mirrors. She paints all the mirrors black and gets rid of them. And yeah, you just see them hanging, trying to figure out what's going on. She's not letting her daughter know much, which is stupid because her daughter's part of this world now. So you might as well tell her what's going on. Uh, yeah, I don't care to see the child abuse and all that crap. So I probably won't go on any further with that series or run. Covers are cool looking, but storylines are depressing, and I'm too old to deal with depressing stuff if I don't have to. But yeah, that was our pretty decent sized stack of comics. I'd say probably half of those are going for sale on tonight's sale because I just ain't big on them. But we will see. There were some good ones in there, even though I got them mixed up when I was trying to explain some of them. But hopefully there's something in there that you can enjoy. Keep following under the color of MS. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, give us those likes. Leave a message, I'll message back. Check out Crimson Color Comic Club. And I'll be back with more of these soon. Thanks. Bye.